In a surreal dream, I found myself back in high school, tasked with reenacting a scene from Romeo and Juliet in an ESL class, but the harmless role-play turned into a horrifying ordeal when Romeo's careless action led to Juliet's head rolling off, met with laughter from classmates. I dreamt that I was in year 10 or 11, sitting in an English as Second Language class, ESL, in an Aussie high school that I studied at. In the dream, the class topic that day was to be a bit more interactive, reenact a scene from a famous literature. From memory, it was vaguely Romeo and Juliet. Throughout the class time, we kids were busy preparing props, sorting out act roles, etc. It was decided that we were sticking to the scene where Romeo found Juliet dead, then a guy and a girl from the class were picked for those roles. We rearranged the chairs, desks, and whatnot. Among the chaos, I remember the girl who was to be Juliet cut a head-sized circle out of a white cardboard. She was supposed to be preparing her own props. Then we finally settled to let the act begin. The scene began with the Juliet girl sitting on a chair in the middle, with her eyes closed and the big hole cardboard around her neck. The Romeo guy wasn't an enthusiastic student. He walked towards the Juliet girl uneventfully and without much emotion. Then very casually he lightly poked the side of her head as a sloppy way to act, checking if she died. Her head rolled off from the cardboard to the side after that light poke. There was a few seconds of awkward silence that steadily built into immense horror inside me. I let out somewhat of a silent scream, but as I watched in horror, the rest of the class began to laugh. I looked at them even more terrified, yelling, "Why are you guys laughing? Someone get the medic." But no one did anything, they just kept laughing at the scene. I painfully held back whatever sanity I had left to dash out of the classroom towards the school clinic to seek assistance. On the way to the clinic, I passed by a teacher down the corridor. I screamed at her about what happened and demanded immediate help, but she just shrugged like it's none of her business. I cursed a little in my mind and continued to the clinic. When I got there and yelled for attention, a 6-year-old looking girl walked out of the back area with a discerning look at me. I found it hard to believe, but something told me she is the nurse of the school, and I told her what happened. She took me very seriously and demanded that I take her to my classroom at once. However, when we got back to my classroom, there was another class going on there already. All traces of blood have disappeared, the tables and chairs were already back to their former arrangement, all the mess from prop making was gone. In the middle of this bewilderment, I woke up. Dreams are rarely ever literal, rather, they speak in symbols and metaphors. For instance, if you dream about your death, it could indicate that some part of your life is coming to an end. Or, if you dream about someone else's death, it could indicate that your relationship with them, or something they represent to you, is changing. Rather than taking death dreams literally, it's recommended to look at them as a message from your subconscious that it's time to move on and/or grow. While death is natural, murder is forced, therefore a dream about murdering someone could mean that you are forcing something in your life to change or end. Having recurring dreams about death can indicate from many factors: stress, grief, fears, life changes, unresolved issues, traumatic experiences, health-related worries, mental health conditions, movies and books, social cultural beliefs, emotional experiences. These reasons are unique to each person, and it's important to talk to a mental health professional if these dreams are recurring and interfering with your ability to live your life as you would like. To dream of a teacher represents the answer or solution to a problem you have. They are beliefs, knowledge, or your projection of a something that holds the perfect solution to a problem. The realization that if you do something it will solve your problem. Coming to conclusions about problems you have. Answers you feel you would be ignorant or stupid to ignore. Intelligent attempts to mediate a problem. Feeling that someone you know knows best. Ideas that you feel are a good idea to listen to. To dream of a nurse represents an aspect of your personality that carries you through a problem or tough situation. You are someone else that is doing everything needed to get through something. A nurse may also reflect your own plan of action to stay stable or get yourself through a difficult time. People, habits, or situations that are supportive of positive change. There may be a problem in your life that was fixed, and the nurse symbolizes keeping on track, supporting it, and seeing it through to the end in a positive way. A nurse will usually appear in a dream when there is a need for you to stay away from something negative, and to maintain integrity until it's finally resolved.